Let's talk a little bit about Alan Dershowitz and Virginia Roberts' lawsuits against each other. I'm just going to give you some facts about it, and you draw your own conclusions. October 19th, 2025, Alan Dershowitz publicly accuses a former federal judge of a $1 billion extortion scheme. The judge that he's talking about is Paul Cassell, who is one of the attorneys for Virginia Roberts. Under oath, Dershowitz accused them of a criminal extortion plot. Cassell and Edwards filed for defamation against Dershowitz. Dershowitz also subpoenaed Boysenberry's firm, and ultimately a judge ruled that there was a conflict of interest because they are witnesses in this case, so Virginia had to get new representation for it. And again, Dershowitz said under oath that he was the victim of a $1 billion extortion scheme by Virginia Roberts, Paul Cassell, and Brad Edwards. He claims that they were going to use the example of the Epstein lawsuits as well as Dershowitz's lawsuit to extort money from billionaire Les Wexner. Dershowitz also claims that he was tipped off about the ploy 8 months ago by a Florida couple Dershowitz only identified by first names Rebecca and Michael. They supposedly told Dershowitz that Cassell and Edwards pressured Virginia Roberts to mention Alan Dershowitz by name in her court statement, claiming that they had been collecting evidence of celebrity involvement with Epstein as part of a Ponzi scheme run by Scott Rothstein. Here is the witness list for Dershowitz in that case, and as you'll notice, VRS, Victims Refuse Silence, which was the original name of Virginia's anti-trafficking nonprofit. And right here at the bottom is Rebecca Boylan, former board member of VRS. And in this claim, Dershowitz says Victims Refuse Silence is a sham not-for-profit established to create a claim for defamation per se. All 36 pages of this filing are missing or under seal. In Virginia's lawsuit against Ghislaine Maxwell, she is asked, do you remember having any conversations with Rebecca Boylan about money that you hoped to obtain from this case or from other sources related to this? Virginia replies, I remember talking to Rebecca Boylan as a girlfriend, telling her what cases I was involved with. I don't believe we ever spoke about any monetary settlements. There was no number that was ever mentioned. I told her that I was involved in these cases, and it was just girlfriend talk between girlfriends. I never expected her to turn around and consort with the enemy. And sure enough, the deposition of Rebecca Boylan is missing from the files. But there was also a deposition on behalf of 30 victims from Victims Refuse Silence. This is all found in the Oversight Committee's estate drop. They were arguing in court on whether her testimony could be allowed in because it was hearsay. Because for some reason, Rebecca Boylan was not there. There is also a tape recording, apparently, of Mr. Dersh's conversation with Rebecca Boylan, which it seems like that is admissible. I am curious about where Rebecca Boylan went. In February of 2022, Prince Andrew made a settlement with Virginia, which was estimated to be as high as 12 million pounds, and part of it went to SOAR, Speak Out, Act, Reclaim, which was the charity new name that Virginia had made. So it was Victims Refuse Silence, and then they changed the name to SOAR. On November 8th, 2022, a jointly released statement said that both sides agreed to drop their claims and waived any rights to any appeal. Virginia said she made a mistake, and Dershowitz retracted his allegations against Boysenberry that he was involved in an extortion plot. January of 2023, Victoria Ward writes this article saying Andrew's accuser's charity still not launched. Her nonprofit is not accepting donations despite Duke giving it $2 million. If the name Victoria Ward is familiar, it's because you might remember her as Vicky Ward, who is the woman who did the Vanity Fair profile in 2003, where she included on-the-record accounts from Annie and Maria Farmer. They were later taken out of the article thanks to the magazine's editor. Alan Dershowitz admitted in the birthday book that he took care of it. As you can see, Virginia's nonprofit is still up and going. However, to this day, there are still no filings for it. No registered nonprofits under SOAR, and one for Victims Refuse Silence. As you can see, it's out of Fort Lauderdale. They claimed $0 in revenue. Supposedly, the royal money is in escrow, but I would like to remind everybody that as of December, there are millions of dollars missing from Virginia's estate. So I wonder what the deposition of Rebecca Boylan, the former board member of Victims Refuse Silence, told Alan Dershowitz. And why are those depositions not in the file?